I will not play or be victim. I will be selfish over my peace. I can't control getting hurt. My heart feels everything before my mind does. I am the product of metaphysics, not metaphorically speaking. Yet I'm seen as a meteorite coming to destroy every carbon being near and far. So I look further into self to see what it is and if there is something I need to reevaluate. I see a young queen so ready to love and do so with precision. First with Jah, Rastafari, then everything else under the sun. I feel so misunderstood on this realm. Faith being tested, integrity doubted of genuineness. Being told you aren't a queen by pawns, or even kings because I did something disgraceful in their sights. Through it all, I will still show love because that is what His Majesty teaches us. I will also humbly, graciously admit when I am wrong, which I have definitely gotten better with over the years. No one can tell I the growth I've experienced or lacked for the fact they do not know what my spirit feels. I truly have pure joy and peace in my hearts, a flame so lit for truth, righteousness, and justice. Even a fire extinguisher couldn't contain this heat. I am a warrioress, goddess like Empress Min, my spiritual mother, the Omega, creator of life. Blessed love, my lords and empresses. Give thanks for tuning in to I channel. Been down for like two weeks or so. Went out of town and caught a cold. So, just getting the body rejuvenated and get the immune system boosting back up and things like that. So I apologize for missing the session last week, but I'm back. Still a little, nasally, ears, a little hard hearing in one ear, the right ear. So while I was doing some things while I was sick, I wanted to do some shadow work, because we do healing and things like that because we need it. But do we, what I've found out that I do a lot is I gaslight myself a lot, opposed to just, the polarities, right? Taking the positive, the negative, and seeing how I can become a better jazzy because of it, right? And so, or just doing positive affirmations, like you have to be realistic with yourself as well. You can't just be like, okay, this hurt me, this situation hurt me, so this is why I am the way I am. No, you have to figure out how can you overcome it, especially with us being Africans in the diaspora. Like, we're always dealing with, triggers, whether it could be from, people like me, where I'm kind of the black sheep of my family, right? Like, everyone's so strict Christians. Like, I have deacons in my family. I have, people in the choir, like people who are heavily indoctrinated, So when I come with how I am, when I first started my liberty as Rastafari, like the pushback I was getting, and it kind of made me, like, when they would ask me, oh, why do you praise this man, or why do you do this, why do you do that? And it was hard for me to even answer those things. So I had to do some things where I had to really be a sound mind and not worry about what outsiders think. And for someone like me who can be triggered easily, or can, I realize I'm swayed. I used to be, not so much now, but I used to be so swayed by others' opinions of me where I would downplay my own self, So, I did a lot of shadow work, and I wrote down things that, that I feel like is important to get to the true core, you know, and have no filter. Like, because why? I mean, who's reading this stuff? You know what I mean? Who's reading this besides you, unless you want to share it? So why lie to yourself? And I realized I was lying to myself with so many things, you know what I mean? And or if I would talk about my triggers, it would only be relationship based, you know what I mean? It's not, okay, so how can I fix myself? Because there's some things that I may have caused within myself that I'm avoiding because I'm so wrapped on wanting to be loved and wanting to fill the voidance of things that I didn't have and things I don't want my daughter to experience, but she's experiencing it, you know what I mean? Like, so, you know, and being mindful, like, of who you share your triggers and traumas with, because not everyone is going to have a heart like you. Not everyone is going to have a mind like you. Not everyone is going to get mental health or be able to cope with how you may be dealing with the disease of the mind, disease of the spirit. That's what it ultimately comes down to. It comes down to the disease of a soul. So, you know what I mean? Like, we have to pay attention to every single thing, from, you know what I mean, work. If you are a business owner, you know, when you're trying to find lenders, when you're trying to, lenders and vendors, right? Like, when you're trying to do this, like me transitioning from working for a company to now trying to start a business, you know what I mean? And now I'm seeing, like, yo, like, I'm thinking I can do this stuff and I can still do a homemade starting off, and I'm still going to continue to do a homemade, but like, I wasn't prepared, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's a lot of things that I wanted to I don't want to say confront myself with, but there's a lot of things that I wanted to bring to the forefront that I feel like I may have been not doing diligently. So yes, that's kind of the first spill of this, and now we're gonna do a part 2 where I'm gonna share some of my things that help me and that is helping me be more open, be more trusting, but still being cautious, because again, every skin folk ain't kinfolk, and I'm realizing that, you know what I mean, from things that has transpired the last couple weeks. So we're gonna do a part 2 of this, and the part 2 is where I actually discuss what triggers I may personally have, and maybe it'll help someone else who may be dealing with the same thing, and pinpointing like where the traumas, like start off with your traumas, right? Start off with traumas from your childhood. That's what I had to do, you know what I mean? Because a lot of times we're carrying our traumas over from our childhood into adulthood, and we don't know how to navigate this world, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys, you know what I mean, like, share, support, you know what I mean, like, support. That's the biggest thing right now. Like, we're in a time where, you know what I mean, 70% of African Americans are not vaccinated, so a lot of people are leaving or being forced out of the workforce. So, you know what I mean, like, this is more proof that we have to stick together. You know what I mean? Like, we have to stick together. We have to support each other. You know what I mean? Like, not in the sense of, okay, I'm gonna support you, but I'm gonna spend my last to support you. No, like, if you have someone who, you know, can like kind of make a residual income, then yeah, and you trust that person, then yeah, go ahead, give that person your last, because you know you're gonna get that back plus some. So, you know, yeah, man, it's quite a I don't even know, it's quite a journey to watch the tempo and actually not even be fearful of what's to come next, you know, which, you know, someone like I'm always thinking about, like, kind of the worst case scenario, you know, just because of where we live. Like, you can't be in a fairy tale land. Like, yeah, you can make money, but at the end of the day, it's still somehow going. It's not circulating throughout the black community because it's still gonna go through these institutions which ran by these some offshore, some this, some that. So anyways, I just want to make sure that we are all getting supported and we are all being loved during this time, a great reset, truly. You know what I mean? Like, figure out what's up with you. Dig deep, tap in to yourself. You know what I mean? Learn to be self-sufficient, find community. You know what I mean? Even if you weren't born and raised in that community, like, still there's still room for us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a sense of community, so sometimes I'm timid to go to these places in Seattle that, I'm not gonna lie, like, has black people, because I'm like, I didn't grow up. I grew up in a gentrified area. I mean, not even gentrified, because it was already a white neighborhood where I grew up. So sometimes battling that and people not even speaking on that, which for me is what I would consider that, like, you know, I wouldn't even say it's a trauma or a trigger, but it's something that holds I back from my people locally. You know what I mean? So yeah, like, that's all we have to do. We have to tap in deep and go, like, you know what I mean? Like I said, go with a lion heart, go with a lioness heart, and use your discernment. So again, part 2 coming up. Give thanks and praises. Giving thanks for life. Rastafari live. Yes, I.